I've never experienced wind like this, but from inside the tent, it's pretty intense. Gaviota State Beach, my first impression was that we were far enough from the 101 to get away from the city noise and able to relax from the calmness of the ocean. At the tag, heading to campsite 31. We're at Gaviota State Beach here in Gaviota, California. Just pulled into our spot. Let's check it out. Camp 31. So one picnic table, one fire pit, and then, oh nice. So maybe some waterbird pictures out here, and definitely some landscape shots. Very cool. So we're right across from the bathrooms. So State Park, basically clean bathrooms, sink, hot and cold water, relatively clean, stock toilet paper. It's definitely acceptable. So just in context, so you can see some of the campsites around. Here's 33, 34, 37, 38, 39, 36, 35, and we're back over here at 31. Here's campsite 30. These are kind of pie-shaped. There's a water spigot without a handle. And this is campsite 29. Not much of a place to put your tent there. 28. Almost no place to put your tent. Camp 27. Backed up against the estuary there. Camp 26. And then camp 25 and 24. And very cool, we got a store. So we're gonna get some firewood and get set up for the night. And I'm gonna keep my camera in my lap most of the time because I'm really hoping that we get some good waterbird action out here on this little estuary. So we're trying to decide if we want to actually build a fire or not with the winds the way they are. So apparently this is pretty normal for this Central Coast type weather, but this is probably like the windiest day of my life. Well, not quite that, but it's super windy. It's blown over the beers, it's blown over our tent. The wind is blowing so hard now, we decided to take down the Easy Up just so it doesn't blow away. I had staked it down, but the legs were lifting so much that the stakes were actually getting pulled up out of the ground, and even taking the chairs down because those were starting to cartwheel around too. So not a big deal. It's not freezing cold, but the wind is strong. This is crazy. I've never experienced wind like this, but from inside the tent, it's pretty intense. Quite a different day than yesterday, but to experience it from inside the tent, and my estimate would be between 40 and 50 mile per hour gusts. They were sustained for like a second or two, so you just felt like the whole top of the tent was going to be ripped off. Now it's a nice day, it's sunny, it's warm. We just saw SpaceX launch. With the wind the way it picked up, there was no way we were going to start a campfire last night just because we're worried about the embers flying. So we basically started a campfire this morning just to use some of the firewood, but that's something to keep in mind, is you may or may not be able to start a fire. So I didn't quite get this one on video, but last night the wind was blowing so hard that our tent, all the spikes came out and it tumbleweeded all the way over to that picnic table over there. And it's a nice set of day use picnic tables and barbecues. This stretch of beach, when we were here yesterday, the tide was much higher, so the water was coming right up along these bluffs. So today we can get a little bit further. Not as much wildlife, but I think the wind had something to do with it. But again, just more of the normal stuff. We live in Southern California, so we're used to seeing the birds that we're seeing here today. Thresher, grackle, a few towhees, scrub jay, and then of course the seagulls and the California brown pelicans. We see egrets, and there is an osprey that I have been trying to figure out his patterns down there to get some pictures. The positive byproduct of the big wind last night is a lot of people left. So look at 3, 4 campsites going that direction, nobody next to us. And at least 3 campsites behind us, nobody there. Getting ready for dinner now. We got the dual thing going. The water boiling here. We're gonna do some rice on the stove. The Blackstone warming up for the chicken. Gonna try not to burn everything. So this is a really mild wind compared to last night, but it's definitely picking up. So once again, about the same time as last night, it's not crazy, but look at that. This is our neighbor's tent, and you can see how it's kind of leaning over. So last night was about this. Hope it doesn't get to be like crazy like it was last night though too. So in review, we had to hunker down pretty early both nights that we stayed there, pretty much before 8 o'clock, just because how the wind came in. But all in all, I would rate the camp a great place to go. We had great weather 90% of the time we were there. The winds usually picked up later in the afternoon, and then from that point it kind of determined what your plans were for the rest of the night.